some pizza dough and some homemade pizzas. I started this dough last night because it's got some whole wheat flour and some unbleached white flour. Normally I wouldn't put the unbleached white in the night before because that does not have phytic acid, but the whole wheat flour does, and we don't want phytic acid in our food because it binds with the minerals, and then we can't absorb those minerals, or we can't absorb our nutrients in our food. So I started the night before. I used a little bit of whey and warm water and then the flour and mixed it up in my Bosch and let it sit overnight, and that breaks down the phytic acid, or most of the phytic acid. So I just added some yeast to it today, and now I'm going to add some honey. I'm actually making a double batch. One batch of this makes 2 pizza crusts, 2 big pizza crusts. So I want to make 4 because part of my family is going to be really sick of pizza by the time they're done tonight, but I wanted to make a couple for today. So my handy dandy film crew has some pizza. And also, I thought I'd make it for dinner as long as I'm making it anyway. So that's why I'm making 4 pizzas. So I doubled the recipe. That's why it looks like there's quite a bit of dough in there. I added, so I added the honey and I added the yeast. Now I'm going to add a couple teaspoons of salt. And a quarter cup of molasses. This is a little different recipe than I was using in the past. I found this new recipe that I like a little bit better. The molasses kind of gives it a neat flavor. And also the recipe I have online is not a soaked pizza dough recipe. By soaked, I mean that I started it the night before. So this is a soaked recipe, so it's extra nutritious. It does have part unbleached white flour in it. All whole wheat is better, but my family doesn't always go for it if it's all whole wheat. So I use part of each. Okay, the only thing we need now is a half a cup of soft butter, which I have right there. It's really soft, so that will mix in well. And I'm going to put my lid on and mix it up. And it's going to take a little bit. Okay, if you want to come take a peek, you can see how it cleaned off the sides. That's one way you know when you have a good dough. As you can see, our pizza dough rose a little bit. We haven't left it too long, but we let it set a little bit. And it's got kind of a funky color because of the molasses in it. And now I'm just going to use a little olive oil to grease my pans. We don't need those sprays that wimpy cooks use. You can get your hands right in here and get your pan all greased. Those sprays have some funky ingredients in them that we don't want on our food anyway. So we just get this all greased. And remember, we did a double batch. That might be my computer. I bet it is. It was my new computer. That's what was at the door. I'm so excited. I have my new Mac now. Hopefully I won't have to swear at my computer quite as often. And I'll be able to get all my editing done on my videos much easier. So anyway, back to our pizza. I got our pans greased. And now, because we did a double batch and each batch makes 2, I'm going to try to get about a quarter of this in a big ball in my hands. And then start spreading. Get it right up to the edges. Okay, and then get another big glob out. This one I'll try to maybe make a little thinner, and I won't use quite as much. Now what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to let this set just for a few minutes, and then I'll spread it again and then partially bake it, and then we'll put our toppings on and bake it the rest of the way. Okay, I forgot to prick the crusts. So look, they all kind of poofed up a little, but it's still going to taste fine. Also looks like my oven was a little hot. It got like almost all the way done instead of only partially baked, so watch your oven temps, maybe only 10 minutes instead. I did 15 minutes at 375, so I think that was a little bit too long. But it's still gonna be good. And then I just, basically then you just will put the toppings on, and then you just gotta get those hot, and then it's time to eat. So don't forget to prick your crust. Now I have bought organic pizza sauce. Now organic is better, but even better be homemade, or if you can find it in a glass jar, that would be even better, because then you wouldn't have to worry about the chemical BPA that's in the lining of all jars, even organic, which frustrates the heck out of me. So anyway, it's not that hard to make yourself, but I just had a lot to do on taping day, so I didn't get to everything I wanted to. I think I'm going to melt some butter, and I think I'm going to make one meat lovers for my teenagers here today. And then I'm going to make a veggie, and just to show you a different way that you can make pizza. So I'm not going to put this sauce on here yet. I have some butter with garlic. I'm going to brush all over this crust. And then I'm going to put some cheese on both. I have some raw cheese, some raw mozzarella cheese that I'm going to do on each pizza a little bit. And then I'll put the meat on that one. And then I'm going to put some mozzarella that I got at the store just to fill in on the rest of it. So this is going to be kind of like a cheesy veggie bread pizza kind of thing. And this one on the left here is going to be more of a traditional meat pizza. Now we'll put the meat on, and I'm going to save some of this for pizza for dinner later. It's going to be a big pizza night here at our house.
Is that mine that I baked?
Yes, it is. This is the one you helped me with. I will cut up some of the ham from the farm. Not on my counter. And then sprinkle a little ham on. It's not exactly even, but the kids are getting hungry. Gotta hurry. I'm gonna crumble some of the sausage up that I'm using for another recipe too. And we will have a yummy meat lovers pizza. And then we'll put more cheese on, because Josh, my cameraman here, also works at a pizza place and tells me that's the best way to make pizzas. A little cheese, then the meat, and then the rest of the cheese. I forgot I also have some Parmesan. I want to make this like, you know, more than one kind of cheese on this cheesy pizza. So I got the raw mozzarella and now some Parmesan that I shredded a while ago and threw in my freezer. And then I'm going to cut these veggies up and throw these on, and then I'm going to put more mozzarella over both. Okay, so I'm putting my veggies on. The bummer about this is that I believe these green peppers came from like stinking Mexico or something, so far away. So I don't like when we have to buy food from far, far away, but look how pretty it is. I had to do it. Same with these tomatoes. These are organic, but and so are the peppers, but they're from Mexico, I believe. Surprisingly though, these little tomatoes, even though they're from so far away, normally they don't have a lot of taste left when they travel so far, but these are actually the best tomatoes. They just burst with flavor in your mouth. So they're extra good on pizza. And look how pretty it is. And Josh tells us that the best way to do it is after it comes out of the oven to brush it with more garlic butter and a little bit of Parmesan, and that will make it dreamy. All right, so now we're going to put it in the oven. I'm not going to put it in for very long. I actually may even, because this crust got more done than I expected in the first go round, I'm probably going to just put it on broil and maybe just get the toppings done. So I'm going to do that right now. There's our meat lovers. Now I'm going to put this one in. All right, now we're going to put a little more of the garlic butter on, like Josh suggested. I take it you meant on the crust. Maybe one more dusting with Parmesan. Yum! That's all. Pizza.
Not tomato.
Meat lovers, veggie pizza. Super easy on soaked homemade crust.